Hi, this is Mr. Peterson, and in this video I'd like to demonstrate a simple technique for solving a specific class of quadratic equations. If you recognize a problem of this type in your own homework, you should be able to solve the equation with little trouble after viewing this demonstration. The method involves taking the square root of both sides of an equation. The equations must fit a specific pattern in order to be candidates for the method I'll be showing. If all the variables are part of the squared expression, then the method that follows will work. So you simply erase the squared part of the equation and ask the question, have all the variables disappeared from the problem? If not, then this method is not the one you'll use to solve the equation. In the first example, the x is squared. Erasing this part of the equation eliminates all of the x's. In the next equation, the expression x minus 6 is squared. Once you've erased that expression, the x's are gone. However, in the last example, the x squared, when erased, unfortunately leaves an x on the other side. So this last example would not have been an equation we could solve with the methods I'll be showing in this video. Solving by taking square roots is actually a pretty simple method. First, you manipulate the equation to get the square root expression alone. Then you undo or reverse the square by taking the square root of both sides. And finally, you simplify your answers. Let me demonstrate. Here's our first example. You need to get the x squared part, shown in red here, by itself. Start by adding 5 to both sides and dividing by 3 to counteract the multiplication. And now the squared expression has been isolated. Take the square root of both sides. Be careful here, since both positive times positive and negative times negative give a positive answer. You have to include the plus or minus sign when doing this step. Simplify. Here, the biggest perfect square that's a factor of 8 is 4. The square root of 4 further simplifies to 2. Note that the problem gives two answers, 2 root 2 and negative 2 root 2. Typing these values on your calculator gives decimal approximations of 2.83 and negative 2.83. Another example. Start by subtracting 3 from both sides. Avoid the temptation of distributing. Instead, you should divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. And the squared part should now be alone. Take the square root of both sides. You'll notice the plus or minus sign is needed on this step. And you simplify. In this case, the biggest perfect square that's a factor of 18 would be 9. The square root of 9 in turn is 3. And to finish, you subtract 4 from both sides. If you want the decimal approximations of these answers, you simply type in negative 4 plus 3 root 2 and negative 4 minus 3 root 2, and you should get 0.24 and negative 8.24 respectively. One more situation you have to be aware of. If you finish your calculations with a negative underneath the square root, and you haven't learned so-called imaginary numbers yet, then you must write no real solution. I hope this video makes it easier for you to both recognize these equations and solve them. The method is efficient and it's effective.